Good morning and welcome to our ongoing conversation at the intersection of faith and public life and the public questions that we're all so interested in. And clearly the one we're talking about today is one a great many people are interested in. Evolution has been a hot topic around the country in recent years. It's been debated on school boards and city and county councils and state legislatures. We're going to talk today about Darwin and evolution with Connie Bertka, a planetary scientist who teaches courses on science and religion at Wesley Theological Seminary just up the street. I gather a majority of Americans still doubt the credibility of Darwin's theory of evolution. Can that really be true?
It's really true, and now I can be a little bit controversial maybe, and say that part of the problem for that lies in what's not happening in places like this on a regular basis. And by that, let's look at that number. So 42%, at least in 2006, 42% of Americans believe that life existed, it basically exists has always existed in its present form. So essentially they do not believe in descent with modification, evolution. 48% accept evolution, but then when you dig down into those numbers, about half of those, rather than choosing evolution as occurring through the mechanism of natural selection, will say, okay, I accept evolution, but God guided it. Which suggests to the scientists that it's not that you have to set up a dichotomy between evolution or God, but it's that type of polling suggests that people don't understand what natural selection is. So the science literacy is a real problem. But my point in saying that, why is this going on, and trying to say it's because what's happening here, what should be happening here, isn't maybe happening. If you look at mainline congregations, for the most part, they accept evolution. And they have been very vocal supporters of protecting the teaching of evolution in science classrooms. The problem is how most of us do that is with a contrast approach to science and religion. We separate our brain into two halves, and we do our theological thinking over here, and we keep our science over here, and we don't let the two mix up. And because of that, I think that's why when ideas like intelligent design come around, it's easy to convince people that, hey, this intelligent design, I believe in an intelligent designer. This can mesh science and religion quite nicely, when actually it's poor science and it's poor theology. So part of what I'm saying is that we really need to find a way to make it a legitimate and useful thing for religious people to think about how science influences their beliefs. How much are you willing to have science constrain, impact, be involved in what you think about the world? Does what science learns about the world matter to what the world means? Now, that's not to say that science is the only way we know something. And in fact, I would suggest that if you think about possible ways for knowing the world, you have your own experience, you have authority, which is where the religious tradition can fall, and then you have science. And now ask yourself, where does religion fit into that? You know what? It incorporates all of it. It incorporates experience, authority, and science. So I think it's very useful and very fair to look at how we can be more proactive about including what science has learned about the world when we think about theology.
And for Christians who believe that Jesus is the embodiment of the full truth of reality, they have no reason to be afraid of chasing down truth wherever it will take you, because conviction, ultimately, truth as we pursue it everywhere will take us back to God and Christ, that there's one reality out there and we don't need to be afraid of it.